Hey guys, my name is Maria Park and welcome to an impromptu Approach the Nerd stream where we're about to discuss Yashahime's So Far Theory stream, which was kind of spurred by all of these crazy and awesome comments that everybody has sent. I'm also doing this to test OBS because OBS has been crapping out on me lately, so I want to see how it functions today. So better way of doing that than having a live stream impromptu with a very good subject. So there have been a lot of theories with Yashahime that are, I think, very plausible, and then some that are kind of out there but could be plausible, and then some that are just flat out crazy. So I think we should start with that. One of the theories you guys have been posting on my latest video is that you think that Kirin is actually Toa's teacher from, her timeline, her current timeline. That is very plausible, especially since he seems to take a very big interest in her and he looks a little shady. So I could see that. I mean, it was a little weird that it was her first day of school and she was already in a fight and he was just like, hey, welcome home or welcome to school, no punishment, nothing. So, I mean, I guess I can technically see that. But another theory that I just read, which is very weird, is that some people think that Kurenmaru is actually the reincarnation of Nuraku. And I don't understand that. I mean, if you guys can see a parallel, please let me know. I guess anything is possible. After all, the Tree of Ages is masquerading as Kikyo, so why not? But wow. I guess that would be a way of bringing Naraku back into the fold by having him be reincarnated as Toa's teacher and living in the modern times. But what would be his point, or what would be his motivation? What's the scheme? So I think I'm probably more prompt to believe that Kirinmaru is the sensei than Naraku, but that's just me. Something else that I thought was interesting is my theory has been that Maroha has been raised by Miyoga, because you see him in the preview for the next episode. But there was a comment sent to me, actually through Facebook, which is odd, that Maroha probably was raised by Koga based on the fur on her outfit and the fact that she's a bounty hunter. I don't know how I feel about that, but I will say if that's true, that would be the ultimate slap in the face for Inuyasha, considering their rivalry originally over Kagome, that he ended up raising their child. I don't know how I feel about that, guys. But hey, again, that's a good way of bringing Koga in, because we haven't seen Koga yet, or his wife, so who knows? That is possible. Something that's been bothering a lot of people on my thread is also that the girls do not have dog ears. Now with Maroha, that makes sense because technically she's only 1/4 demon, so I guess she just became more human. But I guess I would probably, just going out on the limb, think it would be kind of weird that Sesshomaru's girls wouldn't have dog ears because Inuyasha did. One of the things that I've seen people say on my channel and some forums that I've been on is that they think that maybe the girls do have dog forms, but they don't come out because A, their memories are blocked, and B, because they only transform the night of the new moon. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know why. I guess it could be plausible. I don't know why Inuyasha would have ears, though, being half human, and Toa and Setsuna would not, because as far as I know, Rin is just a normal human girl and Sesshomaru is a badass, demon. So I don't know why they wouldn't have their father's ears or that form or anything, other than the streaks in their hair. So that is definitely a mystery that I would like to have solved myself. But if it is true that they only transform on the night of the new moon, that is very interesting. And I wonder why and where they're going with that. Something else that I thought was interesting is that a lot of people believe that the parents are actually trapped inside the rainbow pearls, and everyone had their minds or memories erased of them, and they supposedly the rainbow pearls have been around for 10 years, and there are 7 people that are no longer around. So there's Kagome, there's Inuyasha, there's Rin, there's Miroku, Sango, Shippo, and technically we can say Koga because now we've kind of seen Sesshomaru. And if that is the true Sesshomaru, then quite frankly, I can't include him in the rainbow theory, but Koga could be one of the ones that got wiped. And that's why, Husei doesn't realize his older twin sisters are missing, and why nobody makes reference to who the heck Maroha is, how, the twins don't recognize Sesshomaru or probably even their mother as their parents. All of that stuff could have been rewritten because their parents were trapped inside of the Rainbow Pearls. Now, how they got in the Rainbow Pearls, that's a whole other conversation. But that would explain why nobody seems to miss them. But the only problem I have with that is that Kaede talks about Kagome and talks about Inuyasha. Well, talks about Kagome. I don't think we've actually heard her reference Inuyasha, but did talk about Kagome coming over from her, what she likes to call the village, in Tokyo. So that kind of, with Kagome at least, that kind of blows that out of the water, because why would Kaede remember who she is? But yet Kaede still doesn't know who Maroha is. So, not saying they can't still be trapped in the pearls. I don't think their memories were wiped. Or people's memories were wiped of them. Why Toa and Setsuna don't remember their parents is still a mystery, though I'm still 100% certain that Sesshomaru erased their memories, especially Setsuna's memories. Toa and Setsuna may have had their minds wiped by the dream butterfly, since we did see it by the Tree of Ages in the last episode, when they were little, and then sent off into the woods. And maybe because Toa's rainbow pearl opened the portal, she got sucked into the future. And that wasn't something Sesshomaru had anticipated. So he only had the one girl. And so maybe both of them had their minds erased. But I guess my only problem with that theory, because there's always an issue, is that Setsuna can't sleep and Toa can. And so if both of their memories were wiped, then why is only one twin affected by that? So many questions, guys. So many questions that I have. And I don't think they're ever going to end. But yeah, I was looking at a lot of the comments. There's just so many comments. There are things that make you question, like somebody had made an interesting point that maybe the show is tied more to the Inuyasha movies than to the manga and the previous anime, which I guess I can kind of see that, because a lot of stuff happened in those movies that we didn't really see play out in the anime. I guess I probably should do a video on that, because that is an interesting theory. Maybe we saw something in one of the previous movies that is basically a roadmap for what's happening now, and we just aren't seeing it. And then also, it's also interesting when we're talking about the parents, Sango specifically, like you would think Sango would have been the one that trained everybody to be a demon slayer, because Koaku obviously. But for Sango not to have an active presence in the demon world, the demon hunting world, but you see Kirara with her son, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. It just doesn't. And like, I know we might see Miroku on Saturday, but what if we watch that episode and he doesn't know who Sango is? This is going to blow my brain. I really still want to know what's going on with Sesshomaru, though, because Sesshomaru, no matter how I think about it, there's never a time and never a world where he will abandon Rin. There's just not. Rin is kind of like his conscience, because he really didn't have one before her. So I really feel like her being suspended in that tree basically tells me that Sesshomaru has a plan. And I really, really think that Sesshomaru has orchestrated everything that's happened up until Toa disappearing. I don't think that was anticipated. I really don't. But up until Toa's disappearance, I think everything else was mapped out by Sesshomaru. Now, did he realize that Kurimaru was this big of a threat? Probably, because Sesshomaru seems to be like Maroha, and Myoga, and seems to know every freaking thing almost all the time. So, I mean, he is the badass of the show, even though it was always called Inuyasha. Sesshomaru was always the badass of Inuyasha. So it does not shock me that Sesshomaru planned ahead and, basically said, hey, stuff's going down and my woman's in trouble and my kids are in danger, and unfortunately, even though I have to care, my nieces my niece and my sister-in-law and my stupid half human brother are in danger, so I need to make some moves. And so he sealed his wife, I'm going to call her wife, I'm pretty sure that it's his wife slash baby mama, in the tree in suspended animation to protect her and keep her out of harm's way. And then he went on his mission of basically taking care of everyone else. I just think the whole thing with Toa being sent to the future, that's something that threw a wrench into his plans. And I really do think that Sesshomaru plans to take on Kurimaru, if he's not already possessed by him, or something's going on where they're linked, because they have to be, because if you have to kill them simultaneously, that's a good indicator that they're linked somehow, and that he needed a fail-safe, and his daughters are the fail-safe. Because his daughters are half him, and he is 100% badass. So even at 50% badass, some twins, 50 and 50 is like a match. And then you throw in Maroha and her sacred arrows, they may got a shot against him. They may have a shot. I don't know. I still think he might kill them all. But I honestly think if the sensei is Kurimaru, he's not even in the same timeline, which is why them having to battle Kurimaru through time makes sense. Because they're not going to find him in the feudal era. They're going to be chasing him like some Doctor Who, Back to the Future slider stuff, going probably from time period to time period. So we may be seeing other time periods outside of modern age in the feudal era. And that would be interesting. I have so many questions and so many theories. I really would love to know what your theories are. And I do see you guys in the chat, guys. Again, I'm testing out OBS and then speaking my Yashahime truths, so just bear with me. But if you guys have any burning questions, please put them in the chat too, so we can talk about it, because this is a theory stream. I'm doing this on my lunch hour. And I just want to know what you guys think. And do you think that Maroha was potentially raised by Koga and not Myoga like I think? Do you think Koga may have taken her in and trained her to be a bounty hunter? I would hate to think that she really was by herself since she was 4 years old. I don't know. And then when would she have run into Myoga then? How would he have known about her? Or does he know about her? It's just very interesting that she kind of acts like him and she has all of this knowledge. She gets all of this knowledge very quickly. It just seems very strange, But let's say Garam Mutter. So you think that Papa Koga is who raised Maroha? I'm not going to rule it out because, in anime, anything can happen. And this show has been proven to be challenging my brain in many ways. So that is possible. Fire rat leg warmers. Yeah, there are fire. You're right. They do. There are. Huh. Okay, I can see that. I can kind of see that. I still think that Myoga was involved in some way, because her nature of how she finds information and questions stuff, interrogate, that is so Myoga. She's like a hybrid between Inuyasha and Kagome and Myoga. But I do have to say, fire rat leg warmers, you got me there. Because that is definitely a Koga patent. If he was running a fashion line, that would definitely be his line right there, his trademark. So I can't say that that's not an option. So then it begs the question, how did Koga get her? How did Koga, did they just drop the baby off at his place and say, hey, we're about to go into these pearls, take care of our kid? I guess technically though, Inuyasha would trust Koga, because he was so protective of Kagome, and then he saw, they kind of bonded near the end of the series in a weird way, and Koga and his wife would be suitable parents for somebody like Maroha. So I guess I could kind of see that. So we will keep that in the possibility box that Koga did help raise Maroha, and I think yes, Uncle Myoga Gorum, that's probably true. Flora, I bet if they time travel, they will go back to when Kurimaru and Toga ruled at the same time. Would love to see more Toga content. Yes, I would love to see Toga. Oh, I'm telling you, as much as I love Sesshomaru, their daddy was fire. I'm like, would love to see more Toga. I would love to see an entire miniseries just based on him and Inuyasha's mother and Sesshomaru's mother. That whole, struggle, misunderstanding, and, you know, whatever. I think it would be cool. But and I guess that does kind of open the door to bring back a lot of characters if you're time traveling. I mean, even Naraku can come back. You know, we could see Kikyo, the actual Kikyo again, a younger version of Kaide. It does open up a lot of questions, but at the same time, there's so many mysteries that it's actually, I'm really hoping they're able to, in these episodes, I think we have, 20, I want to say we have 24 to 26 episodes this season, that they're able to resolve them by the end of season 1. So we're going into, if they get another season, a whole other mystery. I really hope we don't get on a cliffhanger where we're still like, where are the parents? Where are everybody? Why can't we find them? I think that would really suck. It would drive me insane. But let's see here. Fire rat baby swaddle during giant fire. Yeah, I actually think that Moro has been bounty hunting a long time. I think she's had interactions with lots of groups. So either she was raised by Koga or she just got some of their gear and their, you know, their outfits because it's helpful in her line of work. I don't know why, again, Koaku and Hayase did not know who she was. It still bothers me, even if they don't realize that she's Inuyasha and Kagome's child. Why did they not, run across her since she's been bounty hunting to survive all this time, and they've been doing the same thing? At this point, why is that like their first interaction with her? And number 2, why, when she used the sacred arrows, did Kohaku not even think, hey, maybe this is the product of Inuyasha and Kagome? Because besides Kaede, who can use a sacred arrow? Like, Kagome. So, yeah, it's just questions. And I know a lot of my followers are like, be patient. It's not that I'm not being patient. I just feel like you have to ask these questions. So when the episodes move along, you'll know what to look for in terms of answers. Because I don't like watching something and just taking it at face value. I want to dissect it and say, this is what I think is happening, and this is what I don't understand. And I will stand by this statement, because I know a few of my comments I got were about Kagome's mother. About how Kagome's mother was so okay with Kagome going back in the past and being gone for weeks at a time, which, you know, she's such a hands-off parent. I think she's open-minded, and I know she loves Kagome. I just feel like Kagome was going to go whether my mama wanted her to or not. So she just chose to be supportive. But having your child go away for weeks at a time but still come home and check in is a lot different than being gone for 14 years. Just a thought. Hi, Nicholas. Let's see. I would absolutely love to find out that Uncle Koga was a thing. I would love to find that out too. I think it'll be cool. Britzy Bay, I wonder who even started the fire. That's a good question. That is a good question. Probably Kirinmaru. Maybe he was jumping through time at the same time. Let's see. I think Sesshomaru is the secret hero of the whole Inuyasha story. Sorry, Inuyasha. Frenzy stories, you are not alone. Because I think that too. There were many mistranslations on the last part where Trikio, I love that one. So I'm going to use that. Trikio talked. Yeah. I know a little Japanese. I'm actually studying Korean though, so it's messing up my mind. I don't recommend that. But yeah, there's always mistranslations, especially if, if they're trying to make it more like friendly for our audience friendly, they usually mistranslate things or purposely mistranslate things. Yes, always question everything. Trust me, I do. I question them from anime to bills. Like, remember this sequel is based off the OG series, and the OG series story was never getting us like this. When the translated part was said, those girls, when it's supposed to be your daughters now, I don't know who she's talking to. If it's Rin on the tree or Sess behind, since she's side-eyed after. Yeah, so like that whole interaction, I'm going to tell you, the two things I noticed in that scene when Trikio was talking and you see Rin, because it has to be Rin, because Kagome's hair doesn't look like that, floating in the tree, like suspended animation, like she's literally on like some kind of starship getting ready to go into cryo sleep. You see the butterfly. If you blink, you miss it. First, you see the butterfly flying, and you just see this tiny little butterfly flying by Trikio as she's talking. And then you see, of course, Sesshomaru, so it looks like his feet, and you see the fur and his outfit, which means he's wore the same outfit for years. And I'm like, man, needs a wardrobe change, just saying. But I kind of felt like in that scene that she was having two conversations. And that's the thing that bothers me is I don't know if she was talking to Sesshomaru himself or if there was somebody else we didn't see off camera in the room. We don't know. But I do know that Sesshomaru is not going to forsake Rin. There's no reality where that will ever happen. So, yeah, I'm standing by that. That's not Sesshomaru. So, just throwing that out there. Let's see. Moko Moko was pretty short. Some people still think that the person in the tree is Kagome. I know they do. I don't see that because it doesn't look like Kagome. It looks like Rin. It looks like Rin's hair. The only way I will buy that is Kagome and her new hairstyle, which is hard for me, is that, yeah, she's been living in the feudal era for these years now, and they don't have really good shampoo and conditioner, so her hair just went crazy. That's the only way I will buy that. It's not like she can go to the salon, but it's just the front of the hair. It looks like Rin. It looks and then why? Like, I know some people are trying to say, well, Sesshomaru walked away, and that's why it's Kagome, because he would never do that if it was Rin. But I don't see it that way. I feel like he feels like she's safer inside of this tree than anywhere else in the feudal era. So I just really think that is Rin. Someone thought maybe Rin did something that got her in that state, protecting him, and he felt guilty about it. That could be a thing. There could be some guilt because Sesshomaru doesn't deal with emotions like a normal human does. So his more tactic is, okay, you hurt my woman. Now I'm going to go kill everyone. I won't show sadness, but I will show rage. So yeah, I do think that is highly possible. She could have got in the way and gotten injured, and since she can't be revived anymore, she's been revived twice now, that this is the only way to save her. Is to keep her like that until they, I guess, figure something out. That's just a theory, though. Let's see. Yeah, I thought she was having two conversations in that scene as well. Sleepy Rin, it just seems that way. I don't think that he was the only one in that room. No way it's Kagome. No way it's Kagome. It's definitely not Kagome. We are all on the same page. Does anyone wonder why the twins have red and purple and blue eyes? Makes me wonder if these kids are actually Sesshomaru's. They should have gold or hazelish eyes. Interesting. But, we know so little about Sesshomaru's mother. Well, her lineage, outside of her being a demon. Maybe somebody like a grandmother or somebody with recessive gene, maybe, I don't know. Like, I look like this. I look almost Hispanic. My brother has blondish hair and hazel eyes. And, my mother had red hair and brown eyes from Scotland. My dad's black and Native American, and we come out all kinds of crazy ways. So recessive genes and DNA and traits, all that stuff they're just weird. I will say when I first saw Setsuna as an adult, I can't say adult, she's like 14, but she reminded me so much of Sango. If I did not know Rin was her mother, I would say that Sango cheated on Moroku and had a kid with Sesshomaru. Let's see. The color of the twins' eyes are designed off of Sesshomaru's facial markings. Okay, I could see that. I think that the demon in the room was a shapeshifter. I think we're dealing with another shapeshifting demon. That's possible. That is possible. But it also could be Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru could still be, I don't know. I just feel like it's so weird that the twins and Roha have to take out Sesshomaru and Kurimaru at the same time. It's just weird. Like, two badass, powerful demons, one that's supposed to rule the East, one that's supposed to rule the West, and you're telling me these 14-year-olds, one that hasn't even been raised full-time in the feudal era, are going to take both of them on at the same time and defeat them? I have questions. I just have questions. I heard that Rumiko Takahashi confirmed Sesshomaru's wife is Rin. Well, I think she confirmed in an interview that he had a wife, and that wife changed him, and everybody's saying that that's Rin. I don't think she came out and said it was Rin, because I don't think we're supposed to know that yet. But I think if you read between the lines, there's not really been anybody else he's really been around female-wise that he gave a crap about. Who was it? Was it Kagura? I'm trying to think. OG. There was one character he interacted with a lot, and it's been a minute. But even then, I don't think I know it's not her. So, no, it's Rin. It is Rin. I'm just wondering how the Kitsune village and Koga's wolf tribe is doing since the disappearance of the OG gang. My headcanon is that Koga is probably on edge since Kimaru and Sesshomaru is wild. And yeah, I mean, look how he was with the Panther King. Yeah, he's probably losing his crap. And also, whenever I try to read and it pops down, it just brings everything down. And also when Trikio said, if you forsake this girl, when it was supposed to be this woman, since people keep saying that she still looks, she does still look young. She does. She looks the same age as Setsuna and Toa. She really does. But I'm almost 45, 44. I don't remember how old I was. How am I? How old am I? This is 2020. So I will be 44 in December. And I don't look my age. And I have a 24-year-old kid. So you know what? Stress keeps you young. And you are stressed out in the feudal era. Let's see. It's 57. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot more in this series about all of the characters we didn't in the original. I do agree with that. And I mean, we like getting extra backstory too. We like getting more character development. I am always okay with that. I just don't want to be driven crazy in the process. Plot twist, so much. So much. Let's see here. Out in thought since Kagome and Dog Breath up and left, Maroha was tossed onto him because if Myoga and Koga, then Maroha wouldn't have lasted as long in the wild, because we all know that Inuyasha and Kagome had some major enemies. Yes, that's why I'm thinking, I do not think that for 1 minute that Maroha was raised by herself. There's no way. Who taught her to use her weapons? A 4-year-old doesn't know to pick up a sword, doesn't know how to do all these, cool bounty hunter tricks, knows how does she know that she could use the sacred arrows? It doesn't make sense. Somebody had to have taught her that. I'm more curious on who taught her to use the sacred arrows if Kaide wasn't in her life. Who else could have been? So I'm confused because in the last episode, Maroha did say, and quote, I never met my mother. Then who taught you to use the sacred arrows? That's questions. Let's see here. Also with the last part where she was perhaps staying like this would be best when in Japanese script, the word is happiness. Yeah. Even no matter how you look at it though, her being in that tree may be what's saving her life. Either preserving her life or keeping her from getting injured. I think it's a protection thing. It's got nothing to do with Sesshomaru saying, I don't want her, put her in this tree, peace out. So, yeah. Very weird. Not many things make sense right now. I know. I know. When one is defeated, the other emerges. What does that mean? What form do they exist in that moment? Exactly. It doesn't make sense. It's not like these two are like soul brothers are like, oh, you took out my mate, now you got to take me on. No, it sounds like some Jekyll and Hyde crap. That's what it sounds like to me. Kirinmaru could be inside of Sesshomaru. I mean, you got freaking a tree or a root demon that can absorb demon energy and possess or take over the roots and drain the time energy from the tree of ages. So then why can't you have a demon that can take over another demon? I mean, this is Inuyasha's world. Of course it could happen. So I really am stand buying the fact that Sesshomaru and Kirinmaru are essentially the same person. Now, could this guy in the future be Kirinmaru? Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's not controlling Sesshomaru in some way either. I just have to keep that on. That's in my possibility box. I can't throw that out. Let's see. It's a confirmation because Rin's official character summary title is Rin, the girl who changed Sesshomaru. That's why it's a confirmation. Yeah. I mean, we all know it's Rin. It doesn't matter. Look, she never had to say a word. We know it's Rin. It's pretty unique how Toa and Setsuna rejected Trikio. Reminds me of Sesshomaru. Yep. I mean, then the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. You look under 40 for sure. Thank you. I put makeup on too. When I don't have makeup on, I actually look a lot younger. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm not in any way unappreciative. I'm just like, when my daughter was younger and I would go to her PTO meetings, people would ask why I was there to see my sister. So that was always fun. Let's see. Wait, how does Maroha know how to use Sota's credit card? That was something that somebody said on my last video, and I commented on this, and I'm like, you know what? That is some truth right there. How does she not only know to use the credit card, how to get to the department store in a world she's never been in, how to get the receipts to give to him? That is not feudal era knowledge. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Maria, how about this as a plot twist? That some demon managed to get in Inuyasha's head and awaken the berserker demon blood state, and he maybe attacked or killed some of the OG gang. That could happen. I just don't think they're dead. I think there's more merit in them being trapped in the rainbow pearls than anything else. Because to me, that would actually make more sense. And it would be really interesting if the rainbow pearl that Maroha has, the red one, actually has Inuyasha in it. And she's carrying her dad around the entire time. It would be a way of him protecting his kid because he's inside of the rainbow pearl. Just throwing that out there. Let's see here. Sorry, scroll down again. Okay. I really like the idea that Sesshomaru separated all of the OG characters to keep them out of the drama. If that's what he did, then yes. For all we know, he could have sold them in the rainbow pearls. Some theories say that when Trikio said they walked the same path, Kurimaru for trying to twist time for the destruction of the feudal era, while Sesh is trying to twist time to reawaken or revive Rin. Ooh, okay. I can subscribe to that. Maybe this suspended animation has a time limit, maybe, or if not, maybe he just wants to have his woman back, and so he's doing everything he can to reverse time to save her. It would make me really unhappy if Sesshomaru is the cause of all of this and not Kurimaru. And Kurimaru really could just be taking advantage of a situation Sesshomaru caused. That would suck. That would suck. Because he affected all of these women's lives. These women, their children, their husbands, all of these people's lives for his woman. And I get it, because you know you're in love, but that would be effed up. Let's see here. I just want to know how Yotsume, the four-eyed owl demon, is involved. Does he work for Kirimaru or someone else? Well, it wasn't... I don't know why I thought that Yotsume was the demon that they took out in the first episode when we first saw Toa in the Feudal Lord. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that they were one and the same, but maybe not. But if not, yeah. And I have to go back and watch it. Yotsume... why isn't Yatsume the teacher? He wears these thick glasses. Yatsume could be the demon in the future that's Toa's teacher. Something to think about. Let's see. What's really problematic about Kirimaru is some are saying it could be the teacher because he has the same name, Kirin, but where the hell was the guy in the OG series and when the Raku was around? I know. I was thinking that too. You thought they would have brought him out. We always heard about the Panther King. But somebody did point out that we have North, East, West, and South. And I guess they just didn't have time to talk about, East. I don't know. It's really confusing. It's just really confusing. Or for plot purposes, they just had to throw him into this. But I'm not going to hate. It gives us a story, and I'm glad we have a sequel, so... But it is something I question. Inuyasha killed Kagome in full demon blood state. Inuyasha and Kratos arc. That would be very bad, actually. I can't see Inuyasha killing Kagome in any state. I just can't. Because Kagome is literally Inuyasha's Rin. Sesshomaru's Rin. By the way, are you sus or Trikio? Are you sus of Trikio? So are you asking, are they Sesshomaru of Trikio? Explain that to me. Maybe I might be misreading that. I'm sorry. I've had a lot of Zoom calls at work today. I think I skipped one. I'm sorry. Wait, how about this? There's a possibility the person, or should I say the people who taught Maroha how to use the sacred would be the deceased priestesses, kind of like the Avatar. I mean, the only priestesses that we saw were Kikyo and Kaide and Kagome, who was using technically, or the reincarnation of Kikyo using her powers. So I don't know. I'm not saying that can't work. I'm just saying that would be interesting and hard to explain. Like, where the heck were all these priestesses before? So that would be my main thing. Okay, go back up. Sorry. Every time I scroll up to read something, it goes right back to the bottom. So I'm trying, guys. Read that one. Okay. Why does Kirimaru matter now? So Shomaru was always nomadic around Japan, and Inu no Taisho was dead years after, which always left the throne open, and so Shomaru didn't take it then before. That is true. What the heck was Kirimaru doing? Like, living his best life. Like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Teacher is sus. Gorm, you got some theories today. You got some theories. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this theory now that the owl demon is actually the teacher, because the four-eyed owl guy wears glasses, 4 eyes. I don't know. I mean, that's sticking. I know his name is Corinne, and maybe because that seems so obvious with his name being Corinne. You know, but if it was the owl that served Corinne, then he would take his name as just like a name nomenclature in the future, just to have something there. And I don't know, I just feel like that to me seems more plausible that the owl demon is actually the teacher. But yeah, whatever. People with thick, shiny glasses are always suspect. Yes. In every anime, and not even anime, in every show that I've seen, if a guy or girl staring at you through really, really thick bifocals, especially if they're like clouded in some way, they're usually evil. Going back to what you said about Inuyasha possibly being in the Mura's own Rainbow Pearl, it would make sense, given how in the OG series, Tetsega was originally in Inuyasha's. Yep. It was literally in Inuyasha's eye, and since Miroha is 1/4 demon, she has to carry it, and she carries it in this like it looks like a makeup compact. I'm like, where the heck did she get that? I'm like, but whatever. But yeah, she gets to carry her daddy around in a little compact. So yeah, that would be interesting. Let's see here. Guys, what about Detective Conan? He had shiny glasses too. Yeah, but that's a whole other situation. He has shiny glasses. He didn't have ones that just fogged up where you couldn't see all the, like if you watch like Sailor Moon, especially like older Sailor Moon, and you see all all of the characters that wear glasses, and they always like Dr. Tomoe, especially, Tomoe, you see him like put his head down, his glasses are like that. That is who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Hotaru's father in Sailor Moon, Dr. Tomoe. Sticking with this. I think I just solved all of our problems. Oh, sorry. I mean, you do not trust Trikio. Some say she's the mastermind of all this mess since she's the tree of ages, and maybe she's infected. Possibly. But I will say she definitely made Roothead her bitch really quickly. But I mean, anything's possible. New priestesses like the airbender in... Are you trying to say in Korra? Because I don't think the airbender was in Korea. But that would be cool. But yeah, so new priestesses like the airbenders, and so basically reestablishing the priestess like they did the Air Nation. That would be, yeah, I could see that. But then how would they know Moroha had that ability? See, there's just so many questions, guys. There's so many questions. Like how his father's Togas, as Shomunisho's father did to him. Oh, that's just a continuation. Okay, Nicholas, I see what you're saying. Professor Tomoe and Sailor Moon. I mean, am I wrong? Tell me I'm not. If I put a picture of them side by side, tell me they don't look almost the same facially with their glasses on. I'm just saying. Guys. Couldn't Natsume be the shapeshifting demon that took the form of Sesshomaru? Possibly. Now if he has the ability to time travel, who's to say he can't be leaving after school hours and going back to the feudal era? It's not like he's staying in the present all the time. He could be all over the place. But I guess my thing is that conversation, I feel like there was more than one person in that room. I feel like she was talking to somebody else. So, yeah. I think all of this is to basically throw us off what's really happening. It's all a ruse. Send them out of the airlock. All of them. Like Yashahime had Tetsaiga and was on the hunt for the sword until he had the idea to take his bro's eye. Yeah, that's some messed up stuff. Siblings are just not nice to each other in some animes. I'm pretty impressed with Toa's power in episode 4. It's similar to her father's. Yeah, it's like that freaking dragon attack. That is so his attack. And he did it in 2 movies, and he did it in the final act. And I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, ha! Now that shows me you are definitely Sesshomaru's daughter. I mean, she also has kind of his hair, but that really showed me that Toa was really Sesshomaru's kid. Do you think Shrikyo is evil or suspect? Perhaps Rin could be a hostage in all this now, held against her will. I can't rule that out. I absolutely cannot. She could be talking to Sesshomaru, whoever, like that was a ransom thing. Are you really going to forsake this girl? Maybe you should just stay asleep, Maybe the tree did take her hostage to get her way. And Sesshomaru has no choice but to do what she wants. I mean, I say she, like it actually has a gender. It's just because she took on Kikyo's form. But that is highly possible. I can't rule out that Rin is not there, involuntarily. I don't know. I mean, we can't rule out that that's really not Sesshomaru. We can't rule any of this out because that's how this anime works. It's working to basically discredit us and make us think we're crazy. So... Let's see. Yatsume was a shapeshifter. Yeah, Yatsume is a shapeshifter. I really hope the real Kikyo spirit is actually resting. That would be nice. I'm really actually hoping she makes an appearance and just like comes up and says, all you people are nuts. Let me put all this stuff back in order. I can't even lay here for 100 years. You guys are crazy. That would be one way to wake her up. Do you think the butterfly of dreams with Setsuna are connected to Rin? With Rin can't wake up while Setsuna can't sleep. Oh, you know what? That's a good parallel. So the mother can't sleep and the daughter can't sleep and the mother can't wake up. Huh. So if Setsuna ever went to sleep, would Rin wake up? Oh, that would be a weird twist. You're just giving me more theories now. Okay, maybe the dream butterfly works in reverse. It puts you to sleep and it keeps you awake. Like a yin and yang thing going on. That's crazy. But yeah, I guess that's possible. So I'll put that in my possibility box. Do you think Sesshomaru is behind this? In a sense, I think he has something to do with it. Now, his reasons, I don't know. I don't know if it's because Rin was kidnapped, she's dying, and he wants to save her, or he's possessed by Kurimaru. We don't know. But I do think a lot of this has to do with actions done by Sesshomaru. Could Rin be connected to the main gang? Well, she was raised not raised. She lived in the village with Sango and Kagome and everybody. So she's connected in that way. You don't live with people for years and not have some kind of connection. She doesn't have any powers. I mean, she's brave. I mean, we saw that in the OG series. She literally died for Sesshomaru, not telling where he was. And there's many acts in the OG series where Rin has been very brave. A lot of people don't like talking about Rin and Sesshomaru together because of the age difference. And like, I know Inuyasha and Kagome have an age difference too. I guess it's probably because Inuyasha looked more like Kagome's age. And Sesshomaru looks like a full-grown man, and of course Rin looked like a 5-year-old. But a lot of people couldn't let that go. So I'm not here to talk about any of that. But I just think it's interesting that because Rin was essentially raised in that village. And I'm gonna say raised because she was pretty young when she was there. She was younger than Kohaku was. So she stayed with them a long time before she got married. I don't know how old she is right now. I don't know how old she was when she got married. I mean, she could have been 16, 15. I mean, but I try not to judge because let's go back to Sailor Moon. If we're really going to be real here, Mamoru was 18 and Usagi was, what, 12? When they first started, like, dating, and then she was 14, and suddenly she was 16 in high school, and it means he was in his 20s. So there's a lot going on in the Sailor Moon universe. So I don't want to judge Japan and their age limitations on anything because I don't want to do all that. But it just seems to be something that happens in anime. Well, the priestesses and priests that Kagome and Ko met along the way when they tried to kill Naraku and either were manipulated as a tool, fell in love with a demon, then shortly killed once their purpose was done. I think that there are a lot of, like, priests probably around. Like, we don't know about Miroku. Like, it's weird because it looks like Miroku's still alive. I don't know. Like I said, until Saturday gets here, I can't speak on the Moroku or Sango or any of the, like, priests and priestesses that may be practicing now. I do know that Kagome was training to be a priestess with Kaide, but I didn't see anybody else. So, like, it almost feels like a lost art, you know? I don't know. Plus, I feel like you have to have natural, ability, sacred ability or sealing ability. And you can't not everyone can just be a priestess. Like if Rin just said, I want to be a priestess too. I don't think that that's something she could learn. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that maybe they can. I don't know. But I just thought that was something you had to have inside you. But I don't know. Let's see. Behold, Dragon Strike. Yep. Almost seems like a Sentai, Super Sentai or Power Ranger move. Next thing I know, Toa will be running around with Saba. The red streaks in the girl's hair. So are you saying that the red streaks in the girl's hair aren't supposed to be there? Or are you saying that validates them being Sesshomaru's kids? Because he seems to have those in his hair. So it kind of makes sense that they would in theirs. I had no idea there was a stream today. Hi, Ito. Not a big anime fan, but wanted to show support. I appreciate you. I did not announce this stream. I have one on Friday with the Turnout. If you guys are into Charmed, especially the Charmed reboot series, I will be talking about theories for season 3 Friday night with him at 6:30 Central Standard Time. If you can't make the stream, you know it will be on repeat. So please check it out because we got lots to say about Charmed. All right, so back to Yashahime. I feel like when Trikio was talking to the twins and they showed Sesshomaru's shoes, I felt like he was testing his daughters. Oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, these girls aren't like me. They didn't want to kill me. They're more like their mother. No, I think Setsuna probably is a little bit more like him. Setsuna seems to be more like Sesshomaru, and Toa seems in nature to be more like Rin, except for her temper. Then again, we don't know what adult Rin's like, so just throwing it out there. Movie 3 defeats the backlash wave. I need to remember movie 3. Like, it has been years since I've seen these guys. I saw these movies when they came out. Like, I saw the Japanese rips of these movies. So, like, it has been a long time since I've seen Inuyasha OG series and the movie. So I'm very happy that I remember what I do remember. Like, I even forgot about Inuyasha's rainbow pearl in his eye, the black rainbow pearl, because it's been years. Like, it's been years and I'm old, so I don't remember things. But I know that there was a comment on my last video that said that something that happened in one of the Inuyasha movies ties in nicely with what's happening now. And so now I feel like I need to go find out what that is, because what's happening now to me does not resonate with the OG series very well. So I just need to figure out where we're going with this. I do know that there was a manga that happened at the end. It was like an extended story or extra story, which is basically what we got in episode 1 of this series. So it's almost like Rumiko kind of knew where she was going with this, and it was like outlined, but we never got the rest because they stopped the manga. That was like the last issue. So, I mean, all this stuff is probably pre-planned anyway. But I don't know. I just feel like I really wonder why we never heard more about more of the rainbow pearls in the OJ series. I mean, we know that Inuyasha had one, but if he had one, then there's a good chance that others had one. Yes, I know that half demons were probably rare because, demons didn't tend to do anything but eat humans. But, Toga still fell in love with a human, so 9 times out of 10, somebody else can. I mean, Inuyasha did, and so did Sesshomaru. So, I don't know. I'm just really curious about this whole rainbow pearl thing. Why they just came 10 years ago, but yet Inuyasha had one a lot longer than that. So just so many questions I have. Another thing that bothers me is only Setsuna had Mokomoto, but Toa does not. Plus, Setsuna can remove her Mokomoko. According to Wiki and Fandom, Sesshomaru's Mokomoko cannot be removed. Yeah? I don't... Huh. I wonder if Toa somehow got more humanized when she went through to the future in the modern world. I don't know. Like I said earlier, a lot of people are still upset they don't have dog ears. Because Inuyasha's half and he has dog ears. Why don't they? And you would think, since their father is a full demon, just like Inuyasha's father and was full demon, that they would get that characteristic. So I don't know. I have no idea why they don't have those ears. I don't know why I don't know. Because I mean, I would feel like Rin's genes would not be dominating or with the twins, but maybe Sesshomaru's genes just didn't want to fight her. I don't know. And there's so much. It's just like with the sword that Toa was using that was borrowed from the museum. I still find that amazing. I was like, why would you give this 14-year-old this? I mean, it's not yours. You don't own it. Why are you giving it to her to play with? That doesn't make any sense. If this is what you consider to be an artifact, do not give it to your child to play with. That is not what you do. But their whole dynamic is confusing. So Sesshomaru's Mokomo is part of his body, by the way, especially when he transforms to his dog self. Yeah. I thought the Mokomo was attached. I really don't know. I don't know why hers doesn't. That's a good question, though. That's something to put in the what the heck pile, because I have lots of those. Let me go back up. It's a different time. Okay. In Japan today, the age to consent is 13. Dang, 13. In Hawaii, it's 14. Okay, I have learned something today. It's pretty young. I wonder if Toa and Setsuna had their demon form like Inuyasha had. That's what I'm wondering. Like, a lot of people think that the night of the new moon is when they actually get their full demon forms. I don't know. I mean, will they face the same dilemma because he would go completely human too, one day a month, and would they, because they look completely human, so maybe theirs is in reverse. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he gets to look like a half demon and they get to look human, except for that one day, then they just look completely demon and there's no in between. Do you think Kiyomaru had managed to find Suonga Toga, Sesshomaru and Inuyasha's daddy, so Toga, third cursed demon blade, and is now threatening everyone with an array of corpses as his guards? Hashtag undead army. Huh. Inuyasha demons, or no, Inuyasha zombies. I mean, I would not hate that. That would be very cool. But I don't know. How would he get it, though, would be the thing. Togas seem to be very protective of his gear. Not saying it couldn't happen, but yeah. Especially if he took over Sesshomaru, that would be a mess. But I don't know. Well, I'll put yours in the could this happen box of Undead Army. Sesshomaru's Mokomo is part of his body. I don't think I ever noticed that he had streaks in his hair, but if he does, that's what I was trying to ask. Yeah, I saw streaks. I don't have to look at that, actually, because I saw Sesshomaru. I'm going to do that right now, because I saw Sesshomaru, I thought, with streaks in his hair, but I could have been actually thinking of his dad. But let me see images. No, actually, you're right. No, he has now, his outfit has that on it, but for some reason. So yeah, you're right. I don't see the streaks in his hair in these photos. But this toga, that's a good question. Because I want to say I saw them somewhere that were relatable. Because that's going to bring me to another question. Why does everybody got this red streak? I can't tell with this one picture I found, so I'll have to look into that, guys. But yeah, that's a good question, though. I wonder why they have streaks if Sesshomaru doesn't. But again, this can also go back to their grandparents. We don't know what their grandparents look like. Those recessive genes can skip a generation. So, yeah. I'm going to look into that, though. Let's see here. Where are we? I don't think I ever noticed that he had streaks. Yeah, I read that one. Swords of an honorable ruler of fire. I wonder how Satan Shippo's lightning demon friend is doing, since we haven't seen Shippo yet in the main series. I wonder where the heck Shippo is. I think Shippo's in the pearl. He's trapped in a pearl too. I think that's where they all have to be. They have to all be in the rainbow pearls, which is so messed up. What are your expectations in episode 5? Do you think Moroku is a flashback, or is it not him? So I really am hoping that this is the true Moroku, because it'll tick me off if it's a flashback, unless the flashback gives us pertinent information as to what the heck is going on in this story. So if he's serving as a flashback that's informational, that's fine. If he's not giving us exposition, he needs to be in the current time. But then I'm kind of worried that he's going to be like Moroku, who doesn't know who Sango is and who doesn't know who his kids are. But that would be weird, because Kohaku knows that Hisue is his nephew. So I don't know, because Hisue says uncle. It's so confusing. Oh my gosh, it's so confusing. Now, they did not specifically say they didn't know where Sango was. That's another thing. Nobody said they didn't know where Sango and Moroku was. They just never brought him up. So as far as we know, they could still be in the village. I mean, no idea. Sango could be retired and they may not be fighting demons anymore. And, you know, they could be older and they just don't want to do it. I don't know. So many questions. Let's see. Rin has been revived by demonic items a few times now. I think it's possible that she could have some handle on spiritual power somehow. What do you think, considering? Well, she has been killed. She has gone to the other side. And sometimes you watch anime or even some movies where when you cross over to another, realm, be it demon realm, the other side, whatever, you sometimes bring back abilities. So I'm not saying she couldn't have done that. I just don't remember them demonstrating that ever happening in the series. So, but again, this could be something that was latent and came later in life. So, who knows? Maybe it could be like, I'm going to reference Charmed again. The OG series with Piper, when she was pregnant with Wyatt, she had all these abilities and she had this force field and yada yada, and she is in a birthing robe. So maybe she had powers while the twins were inside of her. Who knows? Maybe the birth of the twins is what actually did it, because they were so powerful. I mean, giving birth to one half demon from somebody as powerful as Sesshomaru is already dangerous, but she gave birth to 2 of them. So that's a whole other thing. So I could see that being a problem. Let's see. Rumiko Takahashi said she is an ad-lib creator, so doesn't like to get too far ahead making the anime, but I feel like she's not as involved in this sequel, but people say she is. I think she does overviews, but I don't know. She may give them some liberties. I don't know just how attached to the product of her product that she is, where she would want to do it full time. Because making an anime adaptation is a lot of work. And if they plan on doing a manga series too, like sometimes they do simultaneously, that's a lot. That is a lot. It's why we got Ryoko's version of Sailor Moon, which I'm bringing that up a lot. She wasn't happy with how the anime came out originally. But she was also doing the manga series, and the manga took so long that she didn't have the energy to fight for the anime, so it could be something like that, because they work a lot of hours. I mean, a lot of hours. So, let's see. Sorry, likes to pop up again. Sesshomaru's mother didn't have the ears as far as I can remember. Sesshomaru could have just taken after his mama. True. That is very true. And like I said, with the streaks, like hair streaks, it really could have been somebody early on in their family, genetically, like a grandfather or, great-grandfather, whatever, someone in their family line. So it's the one thing about recessive genes, you just never know when they're coming out or where they're going to hit you. So that is a thing. Rumiko is involved. She and the cast are pretty close. And by the way, the talk to her first of It's Okay and all of that. So they prove it through her. I thought they probably did. I just don't think that she's like on set or like in recording and animation products 100%. Because that would be a lot of time. Let's see. And her genes could have been dominant. I agree with that, Nicholas. Like I said, it's a thing. Full demon form, is that code for PMS? My cramps pretty much feel like it. So, yeah, probably. I'm like, and then I think at this point we're all have demons or demon modes. Maybe Daddy Toga's genes are just recessive in his son and grandchildren. That is, I mean, I think that has to be it because, I mean, they look human. Maybe there's more to Rin than meets the eye. Maybe her family has a connection. That's true. We don't know a lot about Rin's family. Outside the fact that, if I remember correctly, they were kind of a-holes. I don't know if it was her family and her parents died or if it was, I know she was getting beat up a lot. I got to go back in my brain to go back and think about that. Well, from what we've seen in the movie, neither Shishomaru and Yasha couldn't control that cursed blade without getting murder happy, sinister, and full out berserk, no matter if it was human ally or demon. True. Rumiko already answered this about half demons not looking like their parents look at Ninji. That's true. I mean, again, I look closer to my mother. I don't really look a lot like my dad, and my brother looks more like my dad, and it's a thing. I guess we all just come out differently. My daughter looks like my clone, and she's half Asian, so just depends. If you want to see what she looks like, she did a Final Fantasy trailer review before the game came out a while ago, so that is my daughter on my channel, so I'll link it below so you can check her out, just so you can see what she looks like. Let's see. What about the half-demon children that live on that cursed island from that one movie? Do they have rainbow pearls? And so maybe they might have some insight. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's they're acting like these rainbow pearls, these other rainbow pearls just came out of obscurity. And I'm like, I know I've seen them before. It's weird. Let's see here. Now about Rumiko Takashi. She had an issue once in her super early work, and since then she's been keeping tabs hardcore on who she works with. Okay, that makes sense. Still a lot of hours. Parading up and down the chat with a Koga flag. Papa Koga. Papa Koga. I mean, I'm not hating on the idea. I just think Miyoga's involved somewhere. In the Inuyasha Blu-ray set, one Viz Media interviewed Katsuyuki Sumisawa on how he wrote all 4 original movies that don't break the original canon. Katsuyuki Sumisawa says he got praised by Rumiko a lot. Cool. He said that most creators don't like it when the scriptwriters try to do backstories for the main character's family, but Rumiko's sensei's approval for that and her help to make the movies. I guess if you go to the creator and say, hey, wouldn't this be cool? Then yeah. Like, you couldn't do that with somebody like J.K. Rowling's in Harry Potter. She'd probably throw a tantrum, you know. You're like, no, that is not Harry's backstory, and that is not where Hermione comes from. So, you know, I guess it just depends on the person. It's good to see that Rumiko is willing to work with other people, though, on her property. Because if that's her baby, I get why you'd be, like, really protective of it. I always kind of wondered how Rin survived the killing of her family. I think there's more to Rin. Hopefully, we get a backstory on her family. I really want to know. And, like, were they her bio parents or her adopted family? Because if for some reason I thought she was an orphan and was taken in by another family, and that family was just a-holes. I don't know. I have to think about this. I know the town was horrible to her. The village she was living in. Okay, and this is the same set of people that are making Yashahime. She and the cast even go to outings and vacations. That's cool. I hear an English dub for Yashahime is coming out. Yeah, they've already announced 3 of the main girls. They've already announced them. I probably won't watch it because I'm so into this one right now, so I don't really feel like going back just to listen to the English dub, which is funny since I'm a voice actor, but I just don't have time. Says Shomaru's mom, did you have streaks? Did you have streaks in her hair? I think, and maybe the streaks in her hair come from other traits because Shomaru adds a few different red features in his complexion. That's possible. He also he has the markings on his face, and he wears all white, but he wears a lot of red and different colors. So I guess I could see that. The rainbow pearls make me think about the rainbow crystals from Sailor Moon, right? I think that's why I'm thinking so much of Sailor Moon. There's so many parallels. Wasn't Rin an orphan whose parents died via demon attack and people beat her up from stealing bread and fruits that she saw? Yeah. Yes. And she was stealing fruit for Sesshomaru when she was hiding him. By the way, Rin's official age really hasn't been stated in Inuyasha, so we don't really know where her real age back then was. We just assume she's 8 or 9. True. That's true. She could have been 14. Like, just looked really young. Let's see here. Stop scrolling. There we go. I heard that Sesshomaru had red streaks on his hair when he transformed into a dog demon. I can't find the picture, though. That's what I thought. I just can't find it. I need to find that picture. I'm now wondering what happened to the half bat demon girl Shiori, since she looked full demon but had white hair and purple eyes. She's basically was our black mixed representation until Inuyasha. True. There's a lot of characters I'm wondering what happened, because not every in the final battle, not everyone died. Even the villains, not all of them died. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I think if I'm really anxious about, besides our main people, I really would like to know what happened to Koga and his wife, because I did like Koga's character a lot. So I'm hoping we get to see, they don't show everything in the preview, but I'm really hoping, I think it'd be awesome if we got to see Koga, his wife, even his kids in the next episode, or at least have some reference towards them, or maybe in the following episode we see Koga and his wife. Maybe they'll introduce somebody little by little in every episode. But Kaede probably frustrates me the most out of everybody, because why the hell is she not talking about stuff? It's like, why? Why does everyone seem so surprised by information they should know on a daily basis? Like, if I lived in the feudal era, there's no TV. There's just hunting demons, going to sleep, using the bathroom, and eating. So I think I would probably want to keep up with, my local events. Just something I thought about. Let's see here. I'm now wondering what happened. Oh, we were talking about that one. Got his barrier working. Upgrade from her. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's Shiori. Okay. Cyclone burst reminds me of a coconut cyclone. So what you're saying is that they need to meet Makoto, Minako, Rei, and Ami. And then, actually, if they really, I would love to see a team up between Mitsuru and Haruka, or Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, and Toa and Setsuna. That would be interesting. I would like to see this. I would love to see their banter. Hilarious. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap the stream up, so I got time to answer a couple more questions because my lunch break is almost over. But I love the feedback here. I really want to know your theories too. Please post some more theory questions, especially on what you think will happen next week, because I get up at 5 a.m. to do these videos. So I will get up and watch this at 5. I'll record it at 6, and hopefully I'll have it up before 9, depending on how slow YouTube server is. But I really want to know what your theories are for what's going to happen in the next episode. So make sure to put that in the comments below. Teresa Martinez, what if Sesshomaru sent the others to help save Rin and something happened to them on the way, but then why would they leave their kids? Because maybe they were going to save the kids and got sucked into the rainbow pearls. Just a theory. But yeah, I really like you guys. Make sure you check out my stream on Friday too if you are a Charmed reboot fan, because we know season 3 is coming out. I believe it's in January, so we're going to talk about what we think should happen in season 3 and how they can fix what happened in season 2. So that is going to be Friday, 6:30 Central Standard Time, PM, not AM. I'm not crazy. If you cannot make that and your time zone is a little bit different, watch the video once it's done and just leave your comments and let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I'm glad the stream went well. I'm glad OBS didn't crap out on me, and you guys have been awesome. You have a good day, really good day, or evening, or wherever you are. Bye, guys.